In the early 30s, Eddie Futch boxed out of Brewster Recreation, and he won the Golden Gloves in Detroit. He also helped Holman Williams train amateurs there. After World War II, Eddie's first pro that he campaigned was Luther Burgess. Burgess was a featherweight with a record of 31, 7, and 5. He lost over 10 rounds to Willie Pep. Luther went on to have a life in boxing as a trainer at the Kronk Gym. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Luther Burgess's stablemate was Lester Felton. Felton had 79 total bouts in a career that spanned from 1947 to 1957. He won over 10 rounds against Carmen Basilio in 1949. March 14, 1952, Lester Felton fought Johnny Saxton in Madison Square Garden, and someone, we'll call it this guy, got to him and scared him to death in the dressing room before the fight. And he came out and refused to fight and was DQ'd after 6 rounds. This really hurt Eddie Futch. On that night, Felton's record was 48, 7, and 3. After this DQ, he never fought in New York again. Eddie had it taken back to Detroit, and he began to lose. I don't think Eddie took another fighter to Madison Square Garden until Don Jordan some 6 or 7 years later. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, let's look back at the record book. In January of 1952, Johnny Saxton was in a fight in Madison Square Garden against Livio Manelli that was stopped in the 7th round when Ruby Goldstein claimed the bout was an uneven match. That's some funky business by anyone's standards. Saxton's next fight 2 months later was against Lester Felton. These guys were threatened and told not to fight against Johnny Saxton in Madison Square Garden. During this dark time in boxing's history, some of the greatest boxing minds were driven out of the sport. Ray Arcel was attacked in September of 1953. He didn't come back for 18 years. They did run Customato out of New York City and tried to run him out of boxing. So as a result, Eddie Futch took a job at the post office in 1963. It's sad because Eddie is quoted as saying, "In my personal experience, Lester Felton is the best example of a good boxer smothering a superior puncher's power. Head and shoulder feints, freezing the opponent, keeping them from getting off, just thoroughly outboxing them." And that's what he should be remembered for. And that's like the prototype of the Futch stable. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm never sure if y'all like these deep dives into boxing history or not, so let me know what you think in the comments below.